What if getting a home loan was as easy as ordering food or booking a cab online? Well, that's the bold vision behind Easiloan, India's first digital home loan marketplace. This deep tech startup is revolutionizing the home loan experience, leveraging AI and machine learning to make the process seamless, fast, and stress free.
Easiloan has brought in more than 25 to 30 lenders on a single platform. So we have really digitized the entire decision making using ML and decision tree logic to make sure that we match the persona, the requirement of a customer with exactly the right lenders.
I'm Avni Raja, and today on Startup To Scaleup, Pramod Kathuria, the founder of Easiloan, is with me on the show. Pramod, thank you so much for taking the time out and welcome to the show. So, before Easiloan, you were in the banking sector. So, take us through your journey. What were some of the issues that you saw firsthand with regard to home loans that made you think that this is the space you want to get into and fix?
Thanks, Avni. Thanks for having me. So, like you said, I started my career with banking. So, had a very embedded experience on the housing finance side. I worked with close to 6, 7 years with a market leader, and essentially had a deeper understanding of how the customers were acquired, and also some of the issues that customers were facing. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, there is very little that has changed in the way we consume home loan. It
Hmm.
continues to be a very, very comprehensive sort of a process. It requires a lot of paperwork. Take a longer time. And mind it, home buying or home loan, both is extremely emotional and financially heavy product. So that said, I also worked in the real estate space for close to 10, 12 years. And that gave me the other side of the sort of picture and understanding, both on the residential as well as the commercial real estate side. Uh, so pandemic happened. I was working on multiple ideas on the paper, and pandemic essentially accelerated the whole bringing it to fore kind of thought process. uh, I had a personal experience wherein I was trying to sell a property during the pandemic in Hyderabad, and the buyer could not just complete the transaction. The first buyer could not complete the transaction at all because the banks were not working or were working, in a partial capacity. And with the second buyer taking about 70 odd days to complete the transaction. What it really told me at that time that how dependent is this product on the physical interaction, the KYC, and so on and so forth, which is required. And that is one problem which resonated with me, a real world problem that I thought I can bring in my real estate experience, my mortgage experience, add with a layer of customer experience and a layer of tech, and really innovate the way home loan process is done in this country. And that is kind of sort of been more than one reason to bring in together. Pandemic was a great boost or on the setting it up, I would say, and accelerating the entire decision from moving from a corporate to starting something on my own.
Right. So tell us, how does the entire process work? Where does Easy Loan come in? Maybe you could help us understand from the application stage to the final home loan disbursal.
Where we come in is really we wanted to bring a comprehensive set of lenders on a single platform wherein a customer can very, very decisively empower to choose between what is best for them, which means that as a customer, I should be able to see the offers from 20, 30 banks and make up my mind. And empowerment is, according to me, is the most important value proposition that a customer has in a digital economy, right? That there is access to information, access to comprehensive, complete, accurate information, right? So, as a marketplace, Easy Loan has brought in more than 25 to 30 lenders on a single platform. We have understood the banking requirement from each of these lenders, which means that our ability to now match make and make a recommendation which is relevant to a persona of a customer is very high. So we have really digitized the entire decision making using ML and decision tree logic to make sure that we match the persona, the requirement of a customer with exactly the right lender set based on their guidelines, and allow us an advice which is done in a sort of a unified journey itself. We also have a very strong understanding of the real estate. So we've also solved that problem wherein we are able to almost bring to at the point of sale these solutions. So Easyloan works very, very closely with our real estate developer partners, wherein we try to deploy our services at the site, which enables our customer to walk in, quickly check their sanction, and make the right decision so that there is no broken promise, there is no heartburn after booking and then realizing, oh, I do not have the sanction or whatever it is.
So you spoke about the AI machine learning aspect, which is integrated to make the matches simpler for whoever wants to take a home loan. If you can delve a little bit deeper into that, because obviously the other side of the whole thing is the multitude of choices. So when you are presented with so many choices, how then does this process make it easier for me to choose which option I should go for?
Correct. And like any discussion today cannot have without AI discussion, right? A section on AI. And I'm proud of you to bring it up. And rightly so, because if you're making it, you're building a platform for future, you have to meaningfully use the latest and the technology side as a value add, right? So what we do is at one level we have created various personas. Our customers are different, right? So from a employment perspective, from a requirement perspective, and so on and so forth. Also the nature of the asset itself, right? It could be ready to move in, it could be under construction, it could be plot, and so on and so forth. And that in itself has a certain logic and recommendation on what lenders would be keen on these set of persona of a customer or the requirement, right? And then lenders have their own guidelines. So essentially one has to built in our decision making tree, and which is all part of AI, essentially speaking, populate the data from both sides and really make a very, very strong recommendation so that your first time right FDI audit and our balance is accurate, right? So you get it accurate in the first time itself, whether it is in terms of sanction, value, or in terms of selection of the lender. So yes, so we do a lot of innovation on the process itself, which is really smoothening, digitizing the document set, and making it a lot more easier for a customer to today go and fetch or upload documents.
So, give us a sense in terms of the comparison between, say, if I were to go to a bank and take a loan directly versus coming through Easy Loan. What would the difference in the processes be?
So you go to a bank, it's like going to walking on a high street to a particular brand to buy a pair of jeans, and then you go to another one, and then you go to another one. Obviously, you'll try, and so on and so forth. So without jeans buying is a simpler exercise versus a home loan, right? So home loan minded, like I said, it's a emotional product also. So when you go into a lender, typically a lender will only give their products. So you go to XYZ bank, they'll talk about XYZ offering. Obviously, they try to sell the XYZ, product, this thing. Uh, Also, there are various banks. So you have a public sector bank who has a certain level of digital integration in the entire process. They may not be the most digital active processes, right? Then you have private sector banks who have got their own processes and readiness on the tech side. And then you have housing finance company, which might have innovated a little more, but the ROI could be higher. And it is already a very cumbersome process. You have to get ITR, you have to get proof of address, you have to get proof of income, and bunch of other legal and technical clearances before you get a home loan. So when you put it all together, to go to multiple banks and go through this cumbersome exercise all over again, with each of the lenders just to find which is the best offer, is painful, simply put.
Right.
At Easy Loan, what you're able to get as a customer, you're able to pick and choose between all the offers which are sort of designed for you and your persona and your requirements. So when I say that I'm looking for a 30 years tenure and I'm looking for a 20 years tenure, I'm looking for processing fee or I'm not looking for processing fee, A, B, C. All that is sort of put together, and basis that you will get the offers, and which is great. We have also tried to put a little bit of gamification into that, so I can actually play with the tenure, I can play with the EMI, I can play with some of these other vitals, and your lender set keeps getting populated basis your requirement.
Right, right. And what about the actual dispersal process? What is that like?
So actual dispersal process, since it's a secured lending, right? So and there's an underlying asset, and hence there are documents and there's checks and balances, which are governed by RBI and the bank policy themselves. So you have to into from that lens, and the from a decision perspective, from a decision making home buying perspective, sanction is the critical steps. You get it right, obviously you'll get the dispersal also once you've done the registration. So registration process still requires a little bit dependency on a customer having to hand over the documents, and these are bank processes. And until such time that it is the property records are completely digitized, and banks are also comfortable in taking that as a secured underlying document, it will require a little bit of interaction between the customer and bank. And having said that, it's a secured lending, it's a high value product. I think some of these rules and regulation do apply. So on one side, we see a very high degree of innovation and tech enablement. On the other side, we see a little bit of compliance and regulation, which are playing important role. So from we are active with the customer from discovery to fulfillment, which means that we are the and then that's our sort of a unique offering, that we are a unified platform. We will be able to share information about the lenders. We will be able to onboard the lenders, the customers, and get their application done, login done, sanction done, and also make sure that we are sort of coordinating for the entire piece when it comes to the dispersal part of it, which means that I'll be there throughout end to end in the entire process of home loan.
Many people are actually scared of a lot of these hidden charges when it comes to these home loans, etc. So, how do you ensure that transparency and ensure that the customer knows what they're really getting into?
When you're building an organization versus having a very localized business, you have to, and if you have a long-term build to last kind of view on the organization, you will give the due to the processes. You'll invest into technology. So from day one, we've got very high level, uh, deep CRM, which means that we start tracking the workflow of the customer. We have invested into technology so that we create the right footprints. We have created the right standardization and put up those offers right clearly so that the customer can, like I said, access information and use it so they feel empowered. We make sure that we do not charge the retail customer anything for this service, which in itself means that I do not have a hidden agenda with the retail customer. Uh, Moreover, our enablement on the tech side allows customer to directly upload documents and using the app. They can also use our central team support wherever required. So the ability to have a direct access given to the customer, ability to provide a RM assist, both in totality means that we will have to have standard processes, which
Okay.
means obviously we are ISO certified. We have ensured that we are complying with various, fintech as well as data, regulations, and which means that our ability to put it up very clearly, what is it that we are offering, what is the role that we are offering, and what is the lender that is offering, is very, very high and clear.
Right. So give us some numbers, Pramod. I know you said you've partnered with around 25 to 30 banks at this point in time. What are the kind of loan disbursal numbers, revenue streams that you can share with us?
Sure. So I'll just give you a quick reference to when I say the first time right, and then these are the ratios I'll tell you, which translate into business. So
Right.
today, when we talk about any login and sanction done at our platform, and how many cases typically go for dispersal, so that would be a good two-third of that clearly goes for dispersal within a framework of 30 days to 60 days time. When we look at first time right, which is, your lender, whatever option you're given or the sanction that you're given is actually the final dispersal, then that's about accuracy of 90% plus, which is the industry first, right? We are a growing company. We are growing in double digits month on month when it comes to the number of cases that we do, or the GTM or the GTV, the gross value of disposal that we do. In the last 8 to 9 months, we've added 5 to 6 markets on the top of the three markets that we were operating: Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore. Now we have all the tier one markets covered, and we're dabbling into some of tier two markets as well. And I think that looks like our another signaling for where the next, say, 25-30% of the business is going to come from. We started our business from real estate developers, and today we already tied up with prop tech organization. We have tied up with real estate brokers, and sort of adding layers of various sourcing channels. So I think, considering that we are still qualified as a startup and still early years, I would say there's a long way to go. But considering that we have created a position for ourselves very, very clearly, and then sort of understand this market, our ability to serve each of the stakeholders is very, very high.
Right. And what can you tell us about the kind of leverage you're getting from the recent investment by Housing.com?
So it's a great, I would say, synergy which is coming to fore. Housing is a dominant name in the tech piece. So they do incredible amount of work on the real estate side, working with the channel partners, both developers as well as broker. They also do a great amount of work with retail. So we work very, very closely with them, wherein there is we have an understanding wherein they are sourcing business for us, and we are servicing the customers. And a lot of we seen good growth month on month on those business numbers. And I'm not able to give specific numbers out,
Sure.
given the confidentiality. But the fact that we every month is a bigger month, and which is how we want to have it, coming for the foreseeable future.
What would you say are the biggest mistakes that people make that you would like to tell them if somebody is coming to take a loan today? What are the some things that they should keep in mind?
So clearly, one has to right budget it in terms of their home buying. When it comes to the home loan part of it, I think information is very, very important. So one has to understand and compare between all the options. Because whatever you are paying, it's not just the monthly difference. It's going to play out over, say, 20-25 years. So a saving of, say, 25 bips can also translate into 1 lakh rupee over a 10 years kind of tenure, right? At a certain base. That said, you have sometimes, these banks offer very high, loan to value ratios, the LTV ratios. So fundamentally, from one customer to the other, it depends. Somebody who would want to look at a lower commitment at this point in time and is more willing to go for a larger commitment over a period of time can look at those schemes wherein the design your own EMI kind of thing is there, and you get certain relief for the first few years. Somebody who's looking at aggressive ROI and is not concerned about tenure, so should look at in that direction, wherein they are looking at ROI to ROI. But that said, I think the really secret sauce is to have information from all the lenders. Wider set always helps you pick up the right bank. And then it is completely your call, balancing between the public sector and they offer certain values, and then your private sector often certain values. You can look at your previous existing banking relationship and can also see how is it like to use and leverage.
Right.
But these are the things that one should be definitely concerned about. They can also bring in a cohort if you have woman buyer of the property, or woman the co-applicant for the home loan. There are certain shops for that from the government and the banks. So one can also maximize in that direction. But fundamentally, I think home loan remains as one of the lower ROI lending product, and one can take a higher exposure on this side as opposed to taking the unsecured, purely from a ROI perspective, the that you end up paying.
And what about expansion? Do you see Easy Loan moving into the other loan categories or even other financial products going forward?
So expansion is on the top of mind. We are looking at expansion, but I think there's a reasonable runway for us to sort of cover on the mortgage side itself. And within mortgage, we want to definitely do deeper balance transfer refinancing opportunity we have, which we want to work on very closely and do a significant piece in that. Then we want to expand to various asset classes. So we have done home loan cases on plots as well as we want to expand to some LRD, some commercial loan, and so on. Which are I would say within the same family, right?
Right.
Loan against property. So LAP is also one of the. So within this family, we want to establish ourselves as more dominant player, and never say never for other products because, like I said, when it if the customer needs it, and
Hmm.
we have the technology support, we have the understanding of the customer, our ability to solve that would be also very so whether it is insurance or interiors or say personal loan, all of this can be looked at a later date in time.
All right. All right, Pramod, let's do a quick rapid fire. I'll ask you quick questions and quick answers from you as
Sure, bracing to that.
well. All right. Describe Easy Loan in 3 words.
Uh, Digital marketplace, and I would say unified.
Okay. The one feature of Easy Loan that you're most proud of.
The matchmaking engine that we have, I think we are among the first in the industry to introduce that and holds a very, very solid promise too.
The biggest challenge that you faced till date in this entrepreneurship journey.
I'm loving, frankly, most of it. Biggest challenge is also the sort of quintessential ingredient in the whole thing, right? You want to do more, you want to do it early, you want to sort of get it right the first time out.
Okay. One myth about home loans, perhaps, that you'd like to bust.
Uh, Somebody says, and then there's a traditional saying that why to have a loan? You know, when I can afford it, when I can self fund it, why to have a loan? I think that's a great fallacy in my view, because the amount of leverage that you can do with that funds is crazy. You can invest in various asset classes. Not just that, you can sort of home loan is a great product, right? About 10-20% exposure, and you're taking a huge leverage, 5 times of what you're investing at. I think so, whoever that section of mindset, according to me, is a myth. Also, I think there is and then that stress one would associate with taking a home loan is far lower than the comfort that you would have if you were to generate wealth. So I think the generation of wealth is far overarching as opposed to the stress that you have taking a home loan.
And finally, one piece of advice that you'd give aspiring entrepreneurs.
So I would say start now if you are excited about it. Excitement is a critical ingredient, and you cannot time it just in terms of years. You have to time it in terms of excitement. So highest level of excitement is the best time to start. Number two, go for fundraise, small, big, whatever, but external validation is critical. You need an idea which is also having external validation to it, and more often than not, it kind of brings a level of discipline once you have a board which is constitute external, bodies. Third is be okay with changing a little bit. So more often than not, we associate passion and sort of bring your first product as a final product or stay with it deep enough. You need to know till how long you need to hold on, and at what point in time you should be okay to change a little bit.
Pramod, we leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through your journey and sharing with us all of that about Easy Loan.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful for that interaction. Was like really great, Avni.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Business Hook so you don't miss our next episode.